What's good, y'all? It's your boy Shane Hector coming at you live from WBGR Studio. No BS, no holds barred sports talk show is back in the building and it's live. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you guys why it is called No Holds Barred. Because we don't hold nothing back on this show. Okay? Nothing. Y'all about to see, I'm about to pull up some receipts. So I hope y'all are ready. That number to call today is going to be 301-429-9247. That's going to be that number to call. I want you guys to go ahead and call that number for me. Alright? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. First thing to talk about today is going to ruffle some feathers. We're going to talk about this baseball. Y'all was see, I got some of y'all, didn't I? We're going to talk about the Red Sox and the Yankees, okay? $71-33. And the New York Yankees are 65-36. Okay. Now I know a couple of people are gonna be upset about this, but look, Yankees, it's over. We're gonna stop your reign of terror now because you guys got too many rings, and it looks like the Red Sox, we gotta play catch up. You guys got 27. The Red Sox got what, 8? So we've got to get. So if we get another ring, we'll be literally 2/3 away from catching you guys. I mean, it's kind of sad to even think about it, mainly because, if we didn't blunder with the worst trade of all time, maybe the Red Sox would have had a few rings. But hey, that's none of my business, though. But here's what I am going to say about that, right? Here's what I am going to say about this, because I just think this is all hilarious to me. Right now, the trade deadline's passed. Moves have been made. It is what it is, right? We're now at this point of where do the Red Sox and the Yankees go from here? 9 times out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, these two teams are gonna meet in the ALCS, the American League Championship game. They're gonna have to meet. They're gonna have to because first of all, both teams are too good, and the only other team that I would even worried about would be the Houston Astros. The Astros. But hey, that's none of my business. And with the Astros, like, since they're kind of playing catch up to these two teams, because right now there's no focus on the Astros. It's all on the Yankees and the Red Sox. I mean, when you got Aaron Judge doing the things that he's doing up there, and then they just added a left-handed pitcher to the mix after the trade deadline. Not to mention, the Red Sox, got a couple of guys as well, especially since Mookie Betts is doing his thing. I mean, he's got the most homers on the baseball team right now. Also, the most RBIs on the team as well. Actually the second most RBIs on the team. I think Martinez has more RBIs than him, just a little bit though. Thank you for Mr. Kinsey Jr. from tuning in. Thank you so much, sir. Again, folks, the number to call is 301-429-9247, so that's going to be the number to call. But right now, these two teams are going to be going head-to-head, because the truth is nobody's going to really stop either team, because Red Sox right now, they're red hot. 71 wins already. Okay, there's 162 games. I honestly can see this team getting at least 100 wins this year. I think they could get 100 wins. They just got to keep pushing and keep winning games. Right now, it's 71-33. And the only way I could see them getting to 100 wins, if they is if they only afford maybe 20 more losses, maybe. But I don't foresee that happening because this team is red hot. Like they're on fire. It's like there's nothing that's just gonna stop them. So it's just what it comes down to. And what I say to people is when you look at a team like the Red Sox and a team like the Yankees, you think about the historical factor. What is it that these guys are doing differently? Now, the only thing is Aaron Judge fractured his wrist, so he'll be out for at least 3 weeks. So for any Yankees fans, y'all might want to have fun with that because, see, now you're gonna have some problems trying to catch the Red Sox because, see, now you're without your without one of your best players, not to mention also one of your best hitters too. Just saying. You might want to figure that out. Y'all might want to figure it out quick because, I mean, the Royals, they some bums, but I don't put anything past the Kansas City Royals. So have fun with that. And then, of course, on the flip side of it, you know, if you look at it like this, the Red Sox, I mean, they've been having their way with teams now. They're going to play the Minnesota Twins today at home. So it's going to be a pretty decent game. So that is it. So everybody knows how that game goes in Fenway. That's how it goes for any Boston sports fans. You already know what it is. The Red Sox are probably going to win that one. Win that bout and just keep it pushing. But at the end of the day, 71-33 is really good and almost unstoppable at this point. And then you say to yourself, okay, well, what is it that they're doing right? Well, I could tell you what the Red Sox are doing right that they haven't done in quite some time is they finally got that pitching together. Finally. Now, the Red Sox have lost their last 2 games. So right now, they're kind of killing it at home. They're 34-14. But they're one of the best road teams and 37-19 on the road. So they're actually one of the best road teams in Major League Baseball right now. And so with the Houston Astros, same thing. I mean, they're 67-37, so they're right behind Boston, but by at least a couple of games. So to put it bluntly, the teams to watch out for in the AL is going to be Boston, the Yankees, the Houston Astros. Also, don't sleep on the Oakland A's or Seattle. And then you've also got to look at the Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians is leading the Central Division right now, but it doesn't look like any other team in that division is going to do too much damage this year because the Twins, they can win games to save their life. And we're not even going to talk about the White Sox. The White Sox just fell off the face of the earth ever since the Cubs won the World Series a couple years back. So, I mean, it is what it is. And speaking of the Cubs, they're 60-42 this year. So, for any Chicago fans out there, should be happy about that. And then, of course, the Phillies, they're 58-44. Now, Nats fans, you guys are sitting at 51-51. They're going to have to find a way to win games because you had 102 games, and there's only 60 games left. There's only 60 games left. And right now, you're currently on a win streak. So right now, you're gonna play Miami again. So you're gonna have to find a way to fix that, or otherwise, it's gonna be a long rest of the season. And that's just what what it's gonna come down to. And what I explain to everybody is, when you watch baseball, it's like watching a flower unfold. It may take a while, but it's usually sweet in the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to talk about something very interesting. So stay tuned on the No BS Show.
When's the last time someone said thanks for checking over your shoulder before changing lanes? Or gave you a pat on the back for sticking to the speed limit? Or a thumbs up for not tailgating? Probably never. which is too bad considering safe drivers make the roads safer for everyone. That's why Allstate appreciates safe drivers like no one else. And they show it by saving you 45% or more, along with giving you safe driving bonus checks, deductible rewards, and extra discounts with the DriveWise app. So the next time you come to a complete stop at an intersection, ask yourself, why haven't I switched to Allstate?
The Brandeo Insurance Group, your local DMV Allstate agent, can help you save 45% or more for driving safely. Call him at 410-424-0844 and get a quote today.
It pays to drive safely. Call a local Allstate agent today and find out how you can save 45% or more. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to talk about something so controversial and probably going to ruffle a few feathers. I mean, I'm just going to be frank. I'm just going to say it. Jurrell Casey. My man Casey this week, and it's been on CNN, it's been on NFL.com, it's been on NFL Network. This man has literally said he's going to take a stand against the NFL for the national anthem in protest of the national anthem policy that has been instituted by the NFL in order to stop their madness. Now, here's the situation, guys, ladies, and gentlemen. I want you guys to understand this. It is what it is. I think that Mr. Casey brings up a really good point. He brings up a really good point. I mean, do I really want to, get into it? I mean, this is what he's talking about. This is what Kaepernick's been fighting. This is really crazy to me. I mean, look at this picture right here. You have two white Caucasian gentlemen talk about how many people of color have to be killed by cops before you hate the state. Police brutality. This is what the NFL is protesting. These guys are just asking. They're just asking for some type of change. This is how they're affecting their community. And I'm telling you this straight into the camera, that I want you guys to pay attention to the movement that is happening right now in the NFL, because they are effectively violating players' First Amendment rights, their right to free speech. And I want people to understand this, and I want people to know this. Your rights cannot be violated under the United States Constitution. When employers try to say, you can protest, but just not on my time, the Constitution doesn't specify it at all at which time can they protest or not protest. It doesn't specify that. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know whatsoever that was even the case. Look at the names. And we're going to take a real closer look. So, I want you guys to look at these names on this board right here. Philando Castile, Terrence Crutcher, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Mike Brown, Makia Boyd. My man Sean Bell was supposed to be married, happy with his wife, about to have some kids. That's clearly not going to happen, unfortunately. Tamir Rice was just playing in the park. Okay? Freddie Gray, Dan Roy Henry, Oscar Grant III, Kendrick McDade. Ayanna Stanley Jones was a young girl just playing in her living room when the SWAT team broke in And because she didn't comply with officers' orders when she just ran to her grandmother, she gets shot. And they said the shooting was accidental. The officer never apologized for shooting that young lady. If Ayanna was alive today, because that was 8 years ago, she was 7 years old at that time, going on 8 years old, she would be 16 years old today. Out of Detroit, Michigan. She'd be 16 years old if she was still alive. Ramarley Graham, Amadou Diallo, Trayvon Martin, John Crawford III, Jonathan Farrell, Timothy Stansberry. And I could rattle off more names, ladies and gentlemen. I really could rattle off more names on that list because there's a lot more. But the NFL cannot continue to violate players' rights under the U.S. Constitution and also under the CBA. And it's high time that the NFL understands that they cannot keep violating people's rights, because the problem is when you start violating people's rights, then what do we have? We have anarchy. Jerry Jones said it this week again, which is why I don't know why it makes you, I am going to say it on the air. I don't understand how people of color could still be a fan of a team that is owned by an owner such as Jerry Jones when he has a slave master mentality. He said it out of his own mouth this week that if his players take a knee or if they stay in the locker room, they will be punished. And they need to stand for the national anthem. Can you imagine what that's like for a player? So that means that I have to really think about, if I take a knee, I get fined, or I get punished, or I get suspended, or if I stay in the locker room, I get punished or suspended or whatever have you. And in the NFL, they can also discipline you without pay. So I want to be very clear on what's happening here. This is the kind of person he is. And the sad part is the Texans owner, well, we already knew what kind of man he was because we saw his comments last year. I'm surprised the dude still I'm surprised the dude still has the team, but that's none of my business. So I don't see how these two owners and these players are standing for it. And for Jurrell Casey, I feel where he's coming from. Because Colin Kaepernick still don't got a job. Eric Reid still don't got a job. And the only team that's willing to allow their players to speak their mind is the Eagles. I'll even throw in the Giants, because the Giants owner came out, Stephen Tisch. Stephen Tisch came out this week and said he will not discipline his players nor fine them, and said that they need to stand up for not only what they believe in, but also stand up against Donald Trump. This is an NFL over of one of the most polarizing franchises. Is it New York Giants, who've gotten 4 rings? 2 of those rings came off of my New England Patriots. But Stephen Tisch said that this past week, y'all. And thank you, Ms. V. Davis, for chiming in. I appreciate your comment. Good old white boy is who he is. And I agree with you there. Could we say is that the good old boys club? Is that fair to say? It might be. Because, it's very obvious. My God, just look at the evidence. The evidence is right there in our faces. And it's not like they're doing it on one front. They're doing it on multiple fronts. They said if you don't stand, well, then you get fined. But then if you stay in the locker room, in accordance with the NFL's new NFL anthem policy, okay, for the national anthem policy, in accordance with that, if the players elect to stay in the locker room, then you know what that means. They still get they still get disciplined. There is a problem. And therein lies the issue. And these are the types of issues that we're going to continue to have unless we come to the table and have the conversation. And it's going to be uncomfortable because people have to understand how uncomfortable this topic will always be. And for NFL players, I get it. I get it. I hung up my cleats years ago. So I totally get it and I understand. And at the end of the day, nobody can violate your rights. And Ms. Davis, I see your comment about the NFL needs to lock out. So there's actually a very highly likely chance, if I had to throw a percentage out there, there's definitely at least an 85% chance that probably is going to happen, because Todd Gurley of the LA Rams has already sounded off about it, talking about locking out of the NFL and tearing up the CBA as soon as the CBA is up in 2020. However, if Colin Kaepernick can prove his collusion case, which will probably either take place sometime this year or maybe sometime next year, if his collusion case is proven, then the NFL at that point will have to come up with a whole new CBA, and then the players at that time can lock out per the CBA in Article 17. So per the CBA, that actually can happen, and it actually can happen a lot sooner, but it's a matter of Kaepernick getting back into court as soon as possible. So with that being said, I'm going to leave this with everybody. Black lives do matter. They matter in the NFL. They matter in any workplace that you've ever been to. They matter no matter where you go. They even matter in the office of the of the presidency. They matter in the federal government. They matter everywhere. We're not saying that other people's lives don't matter. But right now, African American lives are under siege and under constant siege all the time. And Anne Hathaway, God bless her heart, Anne Hathaway, an actress, this past week went on Instagram and talked about Nia Wilson. And it's funny because it ties into all of this with the national anthem. Anne Hathaway said talked about how this week, talked about white privilege this week and how it's really affecting our nation and all of our lives, and it really has to stop. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Real quick, folks, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I got some more things to talk to you guys about. So don't go anywhere in the No BS Show.
It's the new, all-natural, family-friendly pharmacy, Family Choice Pharmacy, located at 8313 Annapolis Road, New Carrollton, Maryland. Family Choice offers alternative medicines as well as discount programs you can easily enjoy. Come be a part of our family at Family Choice Pharmacy, as every family should know their pharmacist. If you're looking to join the family today, you can reach us at 301-577-1212 at Family Choice Pharmacy.
If you like to roller skate, you will love Lanham Skate Center. We offer all kinds of specials, birthday parties, skate classes, and more. You can even reserve the rink for a special event. Skate rentals only $3, so roll on over to Lanham Skate Center today. Located at 9901 Lanham Severn Road in Lanham, Maryland. For more information about our weekly schedule, visit us on the web at lanhamskatecenter.com or call for more information at 301-577-1733. That's 301-577-1733.
So we got to talk about this. It's with a heavy heart that I got to talk to everybody about this. The NFL has lost one of your most interesting coaches of the NFL, in Tony Sparano, this past week. He died of arteriosclerosis of the heart. It's really sad. I couldn't be more sad about it. And it was reported this week by the medical examiner of what he died of. And I want you guys to really pay attention to this. So, Tony Sparano, 1961 to 2018. This man very obviously was the Vikings offensive line coach. That very same physical line in the NFC North. He was only 56 years old. Didn't even make it to his 57th birthday. And I want people to understand what arteriosclerosis does to the heart. So, this is a healthy heart with no plaque buildup. And then right here is when it accumulates. And then after a while, it starts blockage in the heart, which causes a heart attack. There was no blood getting to his heart. So he died of heart disease. It's really sad. That's why anybody who knows how serious heart disease is, you have to understand that you have to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, this can happen to anyone. Nobody would have expected it to happen to him because he was a young 56. At 56 years of age, coaching football, we should see this man on the sidelines as a cussing players out, getting into them. You got to take care of your body. Now, I'm not saying he probably didn't take care of his body because he was in the hospital, but it happens. It can happen to any one of us. The heart is one of the most important organs in the body, because the body cannot live without the mind, and the mind cannot live without the heart. Because without the heart cannot pump blood to the brain, and if the brain doesn't have any blood, which is basically its fuel for it to keep on sending all your signals and your nerves and things like that going around your body, it won't work. And unfortunately, Tony Sparano had to come to it. Let me give you some insight about Tony Sparano. So Tony Sparano, little do people know, is he was the same coach that coached for the Miami Dolphins. Now, if anybody who is either a Patriots hater or a Patriots fan remembers, he was the same coach who brought in the Wildcat formation that defeated the New England Patriots 34-14 in the first game of that NFL season in the second game of the NFL season back in 2008. And it was nasty, because that was when they had Ronnie Brown. They had some really good receivers back then, and nobody was going to stop them. Because shout out to Miss Raheem Emanuel. Thank you so much for joining in. But real quick, folks, at the end of the day, this man had a nice NFL pedigree. He was also the only coach throughout the Belichick era to ever win the AFC East in the Belichick era since 2002. The only coach. Nobody else has accomplished that feat. You know, it was really, really tough, and it is what it is. There's nothing anybody could do about it. I mean, he also is the same coach that made it so that that the Vikings were able to go to the NFC Championship last year. Is this that it really was sad that he had to meet an timely passing, and so our heart at WBGR and on behalf of the team of my team, who helps me do all the things that I do greatly, on behalf of them, we say, to Mrs. Sperano, may you rest in paradise. May you rest in paradise. Nobody could have thought that this would have happened. But it happens to all of us because Father Time catches us. And also, Mother Health is always on us about us taking care of ourselves. So, with that being said, Tony Sperano, you will always be remembered as that coach who was with the Dolphins and was literally given the short-handed of the stick and took a team to the playoffs with, honestly, bums, because that team was not that great. They really was not that good at all. They had a pretty decent pieces, and most of those guys are not even in the NFL anymore. So, there it is. Tony Sperano from 1961 to 2018. May you rest in paradise, coach. Real quick, folks, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I got some more things to talk to you about, and I'm pretty sure some people will get excited about this next topic. So don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
Have you been looking for a new car? Godwin Motors has got you covered. Check out their credit stimulus package sales event. 100% credit approval regardless of credit, and emergency lenders on hand. Godwin Motors is located at 9071 Lanham Severn Road in Lanham, Maryland, 20706. Log on to their website at www.godwinmotorsonline.com or call 301-577-0400. That's 301-577-0400. That's Godwin Motors. And let them know you heard about them on WBGRsports.com.
Times are hard for many people in America today, but change can begin when you take action for yourself. Help is here. Log on to mymoneymyfreedom.com and get connected with a proven recession-proof company that has been helping people find financial freedom for nearly a decade. Whether you're looking to supplement or replace your income, they can help. They're a company with a AAA rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they do business in over 40 countries. Log on to mymoneymyfreedom.com. No selling soap, perfume, or makeup to your family and friends. No cold calling or knocking on doors for customers. They bring the customers right to you. The first step is yours. Take action now. Log on to mymoneymyfreedom.com. Their team of professionals are ready to help you succeed. Don't wait. Take action now. Start improving your financial future and put the passion back in your life. Log on to mymoneymyfreedom.com. That's mymoneymyfreedom.com. Take action now.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So, next topic, we gotta talk about NASCAR. You should have known this was coming. The Poconos. Now, I know most of y'all know the Poconos, okay? Because I know everybody wants to go to the Poconos this summer and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's cute. While you're out in the Poconos, go ahead and check out this NASCAR race coming up. The Monster Energy Series. I want you guys to get ready for it. Let's take a look at here's a look at the events. So I want people to know something. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen at the Poconos. So on July 27th, today, which is going on, it's already happened, and that's the NASCAR Camping on World Truck Series. They already did a practice, and then they did a final practice already. And then tomorrow, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is going to have their first practice at 9 o'clock. Now, for all my NASCAR fans out there, because I've been telling y'all to watch it, I want you guys to get ready for is it for NASCAR, because it's going to be really interesting, especially since I'm expecting Bubba Wallace, who's the only African-American driver in NASCAR right now, to really do some damage in this particular race, because he's had some pretty decent luck in the Xfinity Series. So in the Monster Energy Series, obviously it's a different league. He's with a different team. He's also got a different car as well. And this year, it just seems like Toyota and Ford is kicking butt as far as the races are concerned, because like lately it's always been this crazy battle between Ford and Toyota when it comes to the racing, because for some odd reason Chevy's screwed up this year. Chevy is really really bad. So now I want people to look at this. So then they'll have the qualifying around at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that means that guys are going to be looking to place very well based on how fast their track time is, and that determines which part of the pack they get to start. That's how racing works. So say like your driver, one of your favorite drivers, is going around the track amongst all these other drivers. What happens is they get timed going around that track as fast as they can, and then whoever posts the fastest time gets the best placement. That's how that works. So, getting back to it. So, the first qualifying round for the NASCAR Camping Truck Series will be at 10 a.m. And then Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series final practice will be at 11:40 and 12:30. Then after that, it'll be at 1 o'clock. The World Truck Series will race for 150 miles. So it'll be about roughly 60 laps for this particular race. Shout out to Mr. Lantes Fox. Thank you so much for joining in, my brother. And then after that, after the race is over, it'll be the qualifying for the Busch Pole. And then we'll have the race on Sunday. Sunday is going to be the big day. 400 miles, 160 laps are on the Poconos. Now, I want people to understand about the Poconos. It's a triangular track. So, there's going to be a lot of turns for these guys. So, it's not going to be simple. And it's a pretty big track. There's a reason why there's only 160 laps. But yet and still, they got to go 400 miles. Because this track is pretty big. It's at least 2 miles, I believe. I think it's at least 2 miles, a little under a mile. But I want to say it's definitely 2 miles. I'm sorry, wrong. It's 2 miles. So you put that into this perspective, right? 160 laps. So you got 400 miles divided by 160 laps. So it's a 2.5 mile track. Big course. That means these guys get a lot of ground to cover in a short period of time. And if I'm any of the drivers, like such as Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, or Kevin Harvick out there, or your Brad Keselowski's of the world, or Bubba Wallace, or also known as Darrell Wallace Jr., any of these guys, what they're probably going to try to do is just like around their certain turns, they're probably going to try to pit as much as they can, but not pit so much where they're losing placement. Now, in a race like this, you got 160 laps, so you want to break it up into only 3 times that you need to pit. So you'll pit at lap 40, lap 80, and lap 120, or around that area. So that's what you want to do if you're a driver, and mainly reason for that is because when you're able to pit like that, right? What happens is you're now able to give yourself some, you save yourself some fuel. You also make sure you save yourself some tires too, because you got to remember, as normal everyday drivers, is going to be different for us. We're only going at the very most if you're not speeding, but most people who do drive, the speed limits out here are up to 70 miles an hour in certain places, right? So you're probably not going to be burning your tires that fast. And so the other thing is Dale Kinsey Jr., I definitely see your point at this track. You can pit and not lose a lap. And so a lot of people try to, as a short pit, the stages. That's very true, but the only thing is, Mr. Kinsey Jr., you and I both know the last time somebody tried that didn't exactly end well for some drivers at Poconos, because you know that there's going to be some drama at the end of this race. Oh, there's going to be drama. I can almost guarantee that. So, that's the issue. So, now, most drivers, if you think about it, they probably won't have to change tires like that. I think they'll probably have to change tires maybe at lap 80. Most definitely. If they don't get all four, they'll at least get only two out of the four tires. Mainly the driving tires. Okay, so you have to put things into perspective of if you think about it, this is how things are going to work. And also, fuel. Fuel is always going to be a factor. And the reason why, it's a 2.5 mile track. And these guys are going to be flying pretty fast. Now, on a straightaway, they'll be able to do some decent work, so they'll be able to get some good enough speed. But when it comes to these turns, it's going to be different. Mr. Kinsey Jr., I see your point. Someone's going to try it. Yep, you're right. They are going to try it. But we both know it ain't going to end well for certain people. Now, the driver I think everybody's going to have to really focus on in this one is most definitely Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. I'm going to look for these guys to do really good on this particular track, and also maybe even Kyle Larson. These guys have been really, really good at this track for years. Because Brad Keselowski, for some strange reason, whenever he gets on this track, he doesn't usually do too well. He doesn't do well with technical courses and tracks like that. So, what I would do is, if you're a betting person, I wouldn't bet on Brad Keselowski in this race, because last year he didn't do so well. I didn't trust him last year. I didn't trust him the year before that. And I didn't trust him the year before that. Now, he might find a way to prove me wrong this year. He might. But that's what I'm going to be looking to see. Now, for Kevin Harvick fans, now if you pay attention to him, Kevin Harvick usually finds his way in the top 5. I don't know how he does it, but he figures out a way. And he has a really decent team behind him, and he also has a really good vehicle around with him as well. So, and his crew chief is on point. He is one of the best crew chiefs in the game right now. And so, now, and the thing is, and Dale Kinsey just proved my point. Kevin Harvick has an average finish of 6th in the last 5 races, and he's actually my pick to win this race as well. I'm glad you said that. But I do have a sleeper. I think the sleeper is most definitely going to be Kyle Larson. I think that's going to be the sleeper, because nobody's going to expect him to come up in this race. But I think it's going to be a really good one. I can't wait. I'm actually pretty excited about it. And then, now for Denny Hamlin, I see your point where you say he has struggled since they repaved the road. I mean, he's struggled, but it's not bad. It's not like he's out of the top 10. If he was out of the top 10, I would have considered that a struggle. Then I'd probably be concerned. But Denny Hamlin's not going to drop out of that. So I'm sure Denny will find a way to work with his crew chief and work with his team to get the best car on the track. That way those tires is able to do some things well, because the problem is when you're on a course like this, you don't want things to be too tight, because if things get too tight for your car, it's going to be a very, very, very hard to make the turns that you need to make on this track. And on top of that, you know, I already know it's going to happen. I'm just going to prepare myself for it. I know there's going to be a wreck somewhere, so somebody better get ready for that. And so that's why I'm telling everybody, this is not going to be, this isn't the race that everybody wants to get in a wreck in, because of the fact that it's going to be, there's still some racing to go, especially as we're winding down, because we're in the playoffs. Okay? And then in a couple of weeks, you know, we're going to have some more races and stuff like that, because August is right around the corner, and then football season is going to be in full effect. So NASCAR fans, these guys are going to have to do something that's going to really excite these people, because Sunday's about to get taken by football. So, and the thing is, this is what I am going to say before I move on to the next thing. NASCAR's got to get it together, because they got to figure out what they're going to do with Chevy, because Chevy's been bad this year. And Ford, Ford is Ford. Ford has always had great cars. Toyota, ever since they came onto the scene, has had great cars. I won't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, now this is just a rumor, if Nissan gets into the mix. Because if Nissan gets into the mix and they throw a car out on that NASCAR track, it's going to be fun. And I will be probably talking about that in the near future to see what's going to go on with that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, you know I got to talk about your boy. Don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
When's the last time someone said thanks for checking over your shoulder before changing lanes? Or gave you a pat on the back for sticking to the speed limit? Or a thumbs up for not tailgating? Probably never. Which is too bad, considering safe drivers make the roads safer for everyone. That's why Allstate appreciates safe drivers like no one else. And they show it by saving you 45% or more, along with giving you safe driving bonus checks, deductible rewards, and extra discounts with the DriveWise app. So the next time you come to a complete stop in an intersection, ask yourself, why haven't I switched to Allstate?
The Brandeo Insurance Group, your local DMV Allstate agent, can help you save 45% or more for driving safely. Call him at 410-424-0844 and get a quote today.
It pays to drive safely. Call a local Allstate agent today and find out how you can save 45% or more. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Do you like to travel? Do you like to make money? Well, here's a way you can do both. Vacation Travel allows you the luxury of doing just that. If you want access to unpublished fares, reduced rates for travel agents, access to worldwide selection for family, group cruises, and all types of destination travel, then contact www.kingscourt.vacation.com or call 240-393-7962. That's 240-393-7962. You deserve to travel like royalty. See you on your next vacation.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. This is a question that I've been itching to ask all week, because this has been very troublesome. A shout out to Mike Curry. You actually chimed in at the right time, my friend, because I'm going to talk about your boy up here. So, LeBron James. His mural got vandalized again. I don't know what it is. Now, Jeannie Buss put out a statement this week on Twitter. She says that the fans who are vandalizing LeBron James' mural are not real Laker fans, and she didn't realize that there are so many Boston fans in LA. Okay, so I like how she's throwing shade at the Boston Celtics, which I think is kind of funny, because I'm like, I don't believe that Boston sports fans, first off, would even be in LA to do what they do to the mural. I don't even think Boston sports fans really care, because let's be honest, yes, we don't like most Celtics fans don't like the Lakers, but at the end of the day, I don't think they're gonna go that far to do that. And then Ms. Jeannie Buss, where's your proof? Where's your proof? Did somebody take responsibility? Did somebody claim responsibility? Did somebody go on YouTube? Did somebody go on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram even? Or did they even do Snapchat as they vandalized his mural? I'm just simply asking a question. I mean, that's just an honest question. But here's the question that I asked for everybody on the show who's watching the show. Is LeBron James now the most hated player in the NBA? I really want to know this. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I noticed that it's been a bit of a shift. It's been a bit of a shift. And the reason why I'm saying there's a bit of a shift is because you have to look at the facts. The facts are LeBron James didn't win the NBA championship last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay? Yes, I understand. It's very difficult to him to beat the Golden State Warriors. I'm not going to act like that's not the case. And then they just added Boogie. But at the same time, he is still King James, as everybody crowns him. Mr. Curry, I see your comment. KD's still the most hated. Okay. Well, I actually agree with you there, because KD's probably never going to be respected ever. But I think that LeBron James is definitely right behind him. And the reason why I believe he's right behind him is because he's 3-6 in the NBA Finals, and then he blames everybody else for the reasons why he loses. So, like, and the reason why this is why it's a bit of an issue is because I remember when he was with the Miami Heat, he said this, he did the same thing. When they lost the first time in the finals, he didn't blame it on himself. He blamed it on everybody else. And then he wins 2 rings with the Heat. Then all of a sudden, the second time they see the Spurs took care of business, and all of a sudden he decided to leave ship and go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Next thing you know, loses first year, crowns himself the best player in the league. And then the thing is, I think this is the main issue with a lot of people crowning him the GOAT. You can't crown somebody the GOAT when there's really nobody else to compare him to. Because when Kobe was playing, did everybody ever call LeBron James the GOAT? That's just an honest question. When LeBron James was playing with Kobe Bryant, did anybody ever crown him the GOAT? No. Nobody crowned him the GOAT. In fact, everybody was talking about how great Kobe was and how how he's one of the greatest players since Michael Jordan to step on the court. And I'm just trying to really figure out, like, I'm just really trying to understand this. Like, it just doesn't even make logical sense to even have a conversation about it. The truth is, that man is 3-6 in the NBA Finals. He makes excuses, he cries too much, and then you crown yourself the best player in the league, but you are 3-6 in the NBA Finals. And this is what I like to say, because I actually had this argument the other day when I wanted to compare LeBron James to Nicki Minaj. See, Cardi B is now on the scene. Everybody who follows music as much as I do, right? So Cardi B's on the scene now. A lot of people always say, well, you know, Nicki is a better rapper because she has the better body of work. But the problem is, with that is there was nobody else to compare Nicki to because there were no other female artists at that time. So it's the same thing with LeBron James. Right now, there is nobody else to compare him to. Nobody else to compare him to. Nobody. I mean, he's a very gifted athlete. I'm not going to take that ever away from him because he literally can get a team 50 wins just by his lonesome. But I've also seen Dwayne Wade do it too. But Dwayne Wade also said after Shaq left, you know, he only needed one guy to get to back to the finals and get another ring. Because he already had a ring before he got with LeBron. And then everybody said, well, he had Shaq. That's not an excuse. Players leave teams all the time. Players go into free agency all the time. But for LeBron James to go to LA, first off, you had to know you're probably not going to win in the West. You had to know that. Because you're not going to beat the Warriors. You're probably not going to beat the Rockets either, just because of the fact that the Rockets honestly was literally one player away from the NBA Finals this season. And that was only because my man Chris Paul got hurt for Game 7. Because if Chris Paul would have played, we would have had a totally different story because James Harden dropped at least 30 in that Game 7. But it is what it is. There's nothing anybody could do about it. You know, the Rockets lost, and then next thing you know, you fast forward to now. LeBron signs a 4-year contract with the $153 million. We're all going to see how this pans out because he's going to have Kyle Kuzma. He'll have Lonzo Ball. He'll have all of these great youngsters. The problem is he's going to have to teach all these youngsters to be great. Now, if you're a Laker fan, have fun with that. Because it's going to be a while before y'all start winning again. You might get some wins this season, but you're probably not going to get that ring this year. Maybe next year, but definitely not this year. Because this team is too green. They're way too green. And especially since Lonzo Ball was averaging, according to NBA.com, 10, 7, and 7 going into this next season. Now, he has nowhere to go but up. According to his father, he's going to go nothing but up. But I digress. Because, again, that's none of my business. I'm just simply saying. So, with that being said, do I agree with his mural being vandalized? Absolutely not. I think that the people who did this need to be caught. And they need to stop vandalizing the man's mural. It is what it is. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Now, the Lakers are not. Is it? I see you, Mr. Brewer. Thank you so much. The Lakers will make the playoffs just because LeBron James is there. They're just probably not going to get past second round. I'll just tell you that, or maybe even first round, depending on who they play. So we'll see what happens. But to close this out, LeBron James, have fun in LA, brother, because that's a whole different market. See, it was one thing with Cleveland, but you in one of the most electrifying markets in all of sports especially in basketball and football, you got LA. The LA is a huge market, so you have fun with that. That's all I got to say. And that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank all of you guys for tuning into the show today, and I appreciate you guys. So go to the Facebook viewer group, No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. Is a fan group. Then I want you guys to go ahead and follow my blog on No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk. Is it sportstalk.blogspot.com. Then follow my social media. I want you to go to insane_Shane29, underground SB29. Then Shiz_20 and No BS No Holds Barred on Instagram. And then undergroundsportsllc.blogspot.com. Then if you want to advertise with us, go to undergroundsportsllc@gmail.com. If you want to advertise with the show, NWBGR. This is your boy Shane Hector. No BS No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show is out of the building. Peace.